memes, and markets. Ben Affleck makes some statements about addiction. He discusses beating his alcohol addiction in a recent interview. He says the real cure is enough personal suffering, not overpriced rehabs. Let's see what he had to say.
And I hate to say it, but the cure for addiction, the only cure I've seen, and not like these fucking overpriced rehabs or a lot of these fraudulent fixes that are sold to people. They're good people who will support you. Alcoholics Anonymous, I think by and large, is a good organization. It's not the only one. The cure for addiction is suffering. You suffer enough that something inside you goes, I'm done. And I'm like lucky because I hit that point before I lost really the things that were the most important, which was not my career or money, it was my relationship with my kids. And when I felt as if it impacted them, I recognized it. It was the worst day of my life. I made amends. And for a while, I thought maybe this is temporary. Maybe this feeling is going to go away. But since that day, I swear to Christ, I have not ever wanted to drink once. And I hate to say it, but the cure...
Lupin. What are your thoughts on that, Keith?
I mean, it's an interesting take. I guess that's definitely how things worked out for me. It's just pain. I was like, oof.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah. But the scarier thing with like why we built No Dice was because I don't really think that people are realizing how a social media addiction or how a gambling addiction is altering their state because it's just constant. Right? We talk about it so often where like there's a radical difference in his normal state versus when he's drunk. But when your normal state becomes this, you don't even realize that it's impacting your family.
That's so true, man.
Because even my one buddy who like really was the primary reason for why I was so passionate about building this is that like he's just been so constantly addicted to these things. He just thinks it's him. Right? Because I saw him this weekend. So I was trying to explain. I'm like, okay, but look what happened after, right? Like you did this, you did this, you did this. Do you think you do that if you didn't do this? Probably not. And for him in particular, it's like he's worked a lot, but he's not financially well off because he's gambled all of his money away. And then it's like, and then he also gets mad about the dating thing there too, right? There's so many things that are connected to this. Like there's a lot of guys out there who like see themselves as losers because they don't have a lot of money, but their jobs were actually pretty good all along. But because they were chasing something so much bigger because social media told them to, they gambled away all their money. And then that's why they don't have the dating prospects that they think they should. Right? Because like he'll be like, oh, I need a better job and stuff. I'm like, no, you don't. You just need to stop gambling away your money every week. You could have had a shitload of money. You could have way more money than me right now. You started working at 18.
Right.
So like all these things are connected to it. But the scary part about the phone stuff is that if it just becomes your waking state, then how is it impacting a lot of problems? You're not connecting it to it.
Wow. Yeah, dude, that's actually super powerful to think about. Like when you drink, you're completely changing your state.
Yes.
You're drunk.
Totally. And as I was listening to your podcast, when the Log Out podcast, I was thinking about like what I would say while I was on there in terms of like if I would ever go. And it was this. It was, we've been drunk as a society for like 14 years and not realized it. Right? We've been walking around wasted, wondering why everything's fucked. Do you know what I'm saying? And because of my job, I just got to see that. So like I would have fallen into it 110% if I had had any other job on the planet. I'm not saying I'm special. My job was just to see how it's impacting you.
Right.
Do you get what I'm saying? So like that was the issue. Whenever I would try to voice people the echo chamber that they're in and how they're being impacted, they would take it as an attack every single time. Every single time. And it's like, no, I don't think I'm better than you because I see this. I just see this. And so I think that's a conversation we got to have a lot more loudly. And I'm sure she'll play a big role in that.
Super, super well put, man. Yeah. Super, super fascinating. It requires you to take that logical chain approach that it sounds like you try to take in order for someone to be able to snap out of it in any way.
Because it usually takes a bunch of times because the first like 5 or 10 conversations, they're not listening to a word I'm saying. They're nodding their head along, but it's their ego fighting me the entire time. And so eventually, that's also why like I sometimes try to go drink a few drinks with these people so that they'll actually listen to what I'm saying. because their inhibitions are a little bit lower, and then I can actually have a conversation. And I've had some success with that because their ego doesn't come up as fast. They're a little bit more receptive to it. I'm not advocating drinking whatsoever. I'm just saying it was something that I had tried with certain people a bunch of times. And I was like, let's try this. And it did seem to have a little bit more impact. And also because it's so much harder to see the connections in your own life. Do you know what I mean? Because you're so in it. You're too close. It's like the forest from the trees situation. So yeah, that's it.
Very well said, man. So yeah, it sucks to think that it might take immense levels of pain, but then it's also like, but then it's what you're saying. It's what are you ascribing that to? What was the cause of the pain? Because otherwise you will just keep doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, or revert to a different one.
Right.
Because
Totally.
that's like one thing I've also said to a lot of people is that I don't think there's that much of a difference to any kind of addiction. I just think your natural temperament and experiences make you more prone or less prone to certain things. And I think the proximity and ease of access to the gambling thing has just made so many people that were susceptible to any kind of addiction fall into this one because it's just so unbelievably supported and accessible.
Super fair.
So
Dang. That's crazy, man. All the kids they're not drinking and smoking, but they're gambling and stuff.
same thing, right? And a lot of them will point at the people who have a problem with that and say, "Oh, it's like, okay, could never do that." It's like, yeah, you couldn't, given your experiences, you couldn't, right? But like, we're all the same,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you had gone through what they had gone through, you would have been more susceptible to the gambling thing. That's why there's got to be way more empathy across the board. Like, there's so many of these fucking guys that make me so angry where they're like, you just don't know how to play, or it's like, why is it only the losers of the gambling that call themselves addicts? It's like, have a stroke of empathy, brother. Try it.
Totally. Hey, you made it to the end of the clip. That means you're probably enjoying this. And if so, just know that you can catch us live every Tuesday and Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to see the full version of this episode, you can click the link in the description down below. Otherwise, YouTube thinks that you will enjoy this next.